Hi, this is Shane Mueller. I'm an associate professor of psychology and human factors at Michigan Technological University. And I wanted to show off a function that I added to Audacity many years ago when I was a graduate student working on my dissertation. This is still in the code base, but it's not really exposed directly. And I don't know if these features have ever been released in any version, but now it's hidden because it was sort of an experimental thing for a very specific scientific use. And it's the full functionality of what's known as the transcription toolbar. So today, the transcription toolbar just involves this play at speed button. We can look at play at speed, where if you want to listen to something a lot faster,
The transcription toolbar just involves this play at speed.
or you want to listen to something a lot slower, you can turn the speed down. Try that again. The idea here is that this should support using the label track to transcribe text to know exactly where it is for probably mostly scientific uses, like linguists, psycholinguists trying to understand the speech patterns, the timing patterns of speech. And that's really what I was involved in at that time, trying to record the duration of spoken words. And I wanted something that would provide maybe a more objective measure of the onset and offset. So just to show you off what it could do, I'll record me counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is not what most speech looks like, where you have clear spaces between language and with very little noise, and then clear waveforms. Words run together a lot more, but I had data like this that I wanted to analyze and record the actual durations of those waveforms. The way this functionality worked is you could grab a area of noise, this is the non-speech, to calibrate it based on how much noise was in your recording. And then you could place your cursor down and use that to select a continuous area of speech around that region. It could also sort of shrink down to a region, or you could also select silence or shrink down the stuff that isn't noise. So maybe then you could go and silence those regions in between. And then also, let's try this again. You could automatically create a label. And of course, this button, which kind of looks weird, lets you do this automatically. And this was it's creating automatic labels of regions. So you can do things like that. The algorithm to do this just is looking at root mean squared error of each block of samples, and a block is something that's deep within the Audacity sound model. And it permitted looking at a number of statistics. And originally, the code that's in Audacity right now doesn't really work because it was trying to compute. To do this, it was trying to compute a mean and a standard deviation of this, and then look outside how many standard deviations outside that average. That's what you'd use as the criteria. That didn't really work for some reasons, and maybe because I was calculating the standard deviations incorrectly. Even I'm not even sure. This version, which involves just a very small tweak to the code, just looks at the overall proportion of root mean square error or energy in a region to do this selection. And I am aware that since this was developed and these functions were turned off, there have been a number of plugins that might do similar things and might do it a lot better using Fourier transforms and things like that. And that certainly could be supported directly. But for now, this is just a hidden feature deep within Audacity that might have some things that are interesting for some users, like select silence or select noise for labeling. And I wanted to just show what this was in case people are puzzled by why this thing is called the transcription toolbar. So thanks.